A very good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. I wasn't going to come on tonight. The plan was to come on tomorrow night. I do apologize if my voice is a bit groggy. I'm thinking I'm coming down with the flu, so do bear with me. I've set up a new setup for these podcasts going forward, so the sound's a bit better. And you know what? What a fucking mess. What a mess. What a mess from the Celtic board. They can keep window shopping for strikers, making inquiries, loan deals, but they've got someone in that's honestly, I look, I feel sorry for him, but at the same time, you got to look at his stats, and we're going to talk about his stats tonight, folks. I really appreciate you tuning in tonight as well. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast on Saturday night. I know it was a bit blurry. I was in a hotel, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but 20 days in, and it's just this is going to get worse. This week is going to be a bad week. And I'm not trying to piss on your cornflakes. To every Celtic fan that watches me podcast, that subscribes, that unsubscribes, we're going to play Bologna on Thursday night in the Europa League. And that's going to be a hard game. And then on Thursday, not on Sunday, we're off to Tynecastle. Now let's have a bit of relief that Shanklin's injured and Devlin's injured, but at the end of the day, how bad are we? I haven't been on live since we played Auchinleck Talbot in the Scottish Cup on Sunday. And we'll talk about that as well, but this is beyond desperation. It is beyond desperation for a statue of Celtic Football Club. Do you have 80 million in the bank and you're going for a guy who has scored eight goals in 56 appearances for Borussia Mönchengladbach? He's playing in Turkey at the moment, okay? And he's played 12 games in Turkey. 12 games in Turkey, and he's one goal. One goal. I'm just trying to get this picture. Reportedly, there's a picture of him. He's making the trip to Glasgow to finalise his deal. Personal terms are being agreed. So, without me whipping all the stats out and tell you who he is, um, he is 25 years of age. He's a Czech Republic international. Or he 6'3", one goal in 12 games. He's been capped for his country 8 times, and he has played against Celtic in the past as well, which was against we were playing Jablek in the Europa League. I think it was the third round qualification round when Kyogo scored over in Czech when Joe Hart made his debut. We all remember that game. 4-2 we won, but I'm actually cannot believe we've actually went down to this level. You know, now people are saying surely this lad will score. This lad's only scored 8 goals in Germany in 56 games. For me, that's a red flag. Yes, it's a new chapter. It's a new club. It's a new environment. It's different players. But fuck me, these players that you're going into this football club, they ain't the most constructive players this season. They ain't. And we seen it on Sunday when we put a B team out against the fringes of the first team against that team who are 6 divisions below us in Scottish football. 6 tiers below us, and we only beat them 2-0. I actually, after watching that game, I was saying to myself, this actually feels like a defeat because how bad did we play? And people are like, oh, Johnny Kenny's back on the score sheet. Whoop de fucking dude. It's 6 divisions. Get a grip to yourselves. 6 divisions. Yes, scoring is better than not scoring, but 6 divisions. Like, stop sugarcoating how shite we've been. Stop sugarcoating it. Yes, Martin has won 10 games in 11 for Celtic, but how bad are we as a team? As there's a few people have said it. Some people have said this on the podcast, and I will replicate what they say. We are one bad defeat away from a disaster. And if Martin O'Neill does not get backed in this window, and I would walk if I was him. I would fucking walk away from this club because you know what? That board are the cancer. They are the fucking cancer. They should be ashamed of themselves. They're on so much big fucking money, and they're Nicholson. What is Nicholson do? What does Wilson do? Interim fucking chairman. What does he do? What does Chris McCoy do? Like, what's the scouting system about? We took in a new scout from Chelsea. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick to me teeth about it. We can't attract players. The fact is, someone keeps asking me, um, why would you want to sign for the club with a 73-year-old manager who's on an interim basis? What's the vision? To be honest, what is the vision? As fans, what is their vision? To win the league? Is their vision to get rid of the board? Is our vision to fucking fall to third place this season? Because that's what it fucking feels like. It has been downpour and downpour of misery. And I know, folks, we've won 5 trebles in 10 years. I know that, but that's in the past. This is the now. And if we can't get players in to help us win this league, that just shows that we've dropped so much standards. Less than a year ago, we were toe to toe with Bayern Munich in the Allianz Arena. Where's that team now? Jota's injured, Carter Vickers is injured, Johnson's injured, Brendan's gone. Schmeichel pulled off one fucking good save in about 20 games for us. You know, we are really, really are on the down spur, big time. Right, I'm gonna show you this anyway. I'm sorry for having the rant tonight, folks. I'm not feeling the main West, but I said I'll still come on. I've got the U Heavener coat on, so pimping it tonight. So Florian Petterberg, Celtic are in advanced negotiations with Borussia Mönchengladbach over the deal for Tomas Cvancara. The 25-year-old striker has agreed personal terms with Celtic. Now it's down to the final details between the clubs. The deal is set to be a loan with an option to buy. A loan with an option to buy. Right. Now, let's go into this. Let's go in and talk about this guy. Sriracha's injured as well, of course. Sriracha's injured. I'm looking at your comments there, folks. I do apologise that I haven't read them out. Right. This is what we're dealing with. A guy who's played 500 minutes for Alanyaspor in the Super League in Turkey. He has scored 1 goal. He started 6 games and he scored 1 goal. Well, 2 goals actually, because that was another competition he scored in as well. 13 games, 2 goals. This is what we're signing, is it? This is worse than Adam Ida. This is worse than Adam Ida loan move. And then look at Borussia Mönchengladbach. This guy was signed for 9 million to Borussia Mönchengladbach. 54 games, 9 goals. 9 goals. Now get me wrong, his record at Sparta Prague was pretty impressive. But come on. Since he's left Sparta Prague, he's been absolutely mince in front of goal. And I really, really don't like ripping players apart because number one, I've never played professional football. Number two, we don't know what's going on. Number three, could he not settle? And number four, is he Celtic Football Club's answer to win this league? I really, really worry. If Celtic were ambitious, if they had a bit of cop on, they would have acquired to Motherwell about Tawanda to Zimbabwe winger or forward. Just say attacker. Would have got him in. 23 years of age, 6 months left in his contract, but they have an option to extend it. I would have paid 4 million for him, got him in the door. Guy that knows the league. The guy is actually flying this season. 18 goals this season for his club and his country. A bit of common sense. I know a lot of us, they wouldn't go near Kieran Bowie. It's too much out of the back. It's well too much. Celtic Football Club do not want to spend money. It's a fact. They don't want to spend money. I know in the past that we took risks on Ida. We spent 9 million on him. We got 7 back off him from Swansea. Arnie Ingles, talk about him leaving Celtic to go to Red Bull Leipzig in Germany. They're weighing up an option for him. Even if you get 10 million back for Arnie Ingles, I'll take it. I'll take it and put it into a striker. Put it into a striker. Love of God. We have so much positions that we need to strengthen in. You know, two strikers, right winger. I'm sick of hearing this. Fairness, I'm not trying to give you a dig in the face when I say this in any shape or form, but I think this is going to work. Martin O'Neill will get the best out of the lads. Getting the best out of the lads. We beat a team that's 6 divisions below us. He's worked with these lads prior to this in the previous term. We only beat them 2-0. And you might say, job done, we won the game, but how bad was that performance? If we were playing Dunfermline away, we would have got hockeyed. You know? If we played Auchinleigh, Talbot probably in that stadium, we probably would have been beaten. I'm sick of this. Oh, he's gonna get the best out of him. He's gonna get the best out of him. How do you know he's gonna get the best out of him? This team are deflated. He has Fozzie, he has Sean Maloney. They go against Hearts on Sunday, they get pumped. Are you still gonna keep saying he's gonna get the best out of him? Let's be honest. Just be honest with yourself. 10 changes and they don't know each other. Yes, they do know each other. They work with each other day in and day out on the training fucking pitch. Of course they know each other. Of course they know each other. It's not like they brought to bringing 10 guys in at the transfer window. Of course they know each other. I don't fall for that shit. I see what's in front. These guys have been at the club, a lot of them for a long time. They know the system. They know how to play forward at the back. They know how to play three in the midfield. They know how to use the flanks. They're professional footballers. And if you can't pump a team 5 or 6-0 away against a team from Ayrshire Junior League, what does that say about how we're going as a club? It's embarrassing. He might get the best out of them, but let's let's be honest. Let's be honest. Yes, it's only 6 points. It is only 6 points. And that doesn't seem like a lot with was it 16 games to go now? I think it's 16 games to go. Is it 16 or 15? 15 games to go. And no, 16 games to go in the league. I'm sick of people saying they're gonna get the best out. Martin O'Neill's a phenomenal manager. What a man. What an absolute man. But come on. Half of these players are just done. People need to accept half these players ain't good enough to wear the Celtic shirt. Luke McCown is damaged. The guy is damaged. He is not the same since Wilfred Nancy. The whole thing with Wilfred Nancy. I feel sorry for him. I really do. You know, Tony Ralston, yes, he provides assists the other day. He's still shy. Should not be playing for Celtic. First team. Dane Murray, inexperienced, trying to get a run in the team, isn't good enough. And I wanted Dane Murray to do well in the summer. I thought he had a couple of decent games of pre-season, just not at the level. Just not at the level. He needs another mil on loan to develop. I think that's what he needs. Stephen Welch had a good time at Motherwell. Use Stephen Welch as a part of the deal to get Awanda in from Motherwell. It's just, I think people need to understand this. Stop fucking walking on eggshells. Be realistic with yourself. This 6 points feels like 16 points because we may be scraping results. We may be still in touching distance of pulling this back. Yes, but how many times have we had the chance to be atop of that league and show it? This is the board's fault. It starts on the board and it ends down at the team. And I know we not want to hear blame games on podcasts all the time, but the God honest truth is, are we if we want to get a defensive midfielder or a decent midfielder in, go in for that guy off Motherwell, that guy Taylor Watt. Get him in. He knows the league. He's having a good season. Get him in. Get Josh Mulligan in. You know? Bernardo. Bernardo was absolutely minced the other night. And I feel sorry for Bernardo because I've been crying out for Bernardo to get time. You know? People are saying, Aidan saying, everyone blame Brendan. Yes, we need to change tactics, but we need new players. Brendan asked for players. Brendan called out for the board so many times in the media. But yeah, people, yeah, I blame Brendan Rodgers for dropping tools. But at the same time, if you're getting sold a project and you're taking a job and you're getting told, oh, we're gonna give you this, we're gonna give you that to come back, and you come back and you get a certain what you've been promised, would you be pissed off? Would you be pissed off that you had a team that was going toe to toe with Bayern Munich what, 7 months ago at that time? Of course you would. Of course you would. And you fail to beat a team from Kazakhstan because you don't have the type of players at your disposal. I just honestly don't get it with fans. Like, I really don't. Like, you know, O'Neill's getting shafted. 100%. Martin O'Neill's getting shafted. Paul Sells. Like, how how difficult is it to get a player in? How difficult? As I said, if we only had 10 million in the bank, I would understand this. I'd be like, look, lads, let's be calm on the board. But we've 80 million in the bank. 80 million in the bank. What does that show about the ambition of Celtic Football Club? And I'm saying this, and I mean this. The more this transfer window goes on, closer to get to this game of Hearts on Sunday, the more I feel like we're not going to win this league. I really believe. I'm starting to feel as regardless who's in charge, I just feel like we're going to drop sloppy points. It's just there's not enough fire in that tummy for the players. Not enough fire. There's not enough leaders in that on that pitch. There's not enough winners. They have won it, but they don't have the winning mentality that they previously had. Because they done job done, we won a treble. Job done, we've done a double. Job done, we've had for 5 years. You know? Yeah. This boy, Cvancara is a big unit. I watched him, he looks powerful. He's on his way. Francis, yes, he's tall, he looks like a unit, 100% he's a big unit. But look, his goals to game ratio. He's only scored 8 goals in 54 games in Bundesliga. He's only scored 2 goals in 13 games in the Turkish league. Yeah, he did start 6 of the games. But the point is, we should be going for someone better than that. I know, and I know I'm sure absolutely shafting the lad, and the guy hasn't even put a jersey on for Celtic, and I could be completely eating me words on Sunday if he starts and he scores. But we need to stop this. If he scores, oh yeah, oh he looks really good, he looks this, and then it could fall to the dogs. You don't review a player until give a proper review on a player until he's he gets a full stretch of games. Has he signed? No, he's agreed he's agreed personal terms. He's on the way to Glasgow to get the deal done and dusted. It's going to be a loan move for an option to buy. The source is Bundesliga correspondent from Sky Sport in Bundesliga, Florian Petterberg. Really good source. He was the guy that broke the Nicholas Kuhn deal originally a few years back. You know, yeah. Never seen you this angry. I'm just pissed off for it. Like, I'm really just getting to the stage where I'm not on this to look for clicks. I'm not on this to. I'm just telling you how I feel. You know, we're we're getting players in on literally they're either struggling with form or it's like bargain basement players. Like, honestly, it's a really, really bad sign. We need 2 strikers, Mikey Cole. We do. Big difference between the Bundesliga and Air League, but we'll support him anyway. Look, we'll support every player that puts the shirt on, no matter what. And I know I got behind Ida when Ida was signing and people were against it. I said, look, I just get behind the player. Once he puts the shirt on and he tries, but I just feel like the board don't have the ambition. We could be going for someone a bit better. And I know the Bundesliga is a much superior league to the Scottish League, but like, you're signing a 9 million deal and you're only fucking scoring 8 goals in 54 games. We now get me wrong, we played this guy. We played against this guy in two Europa League qualifiers. How's it going, Paul? I hope you're doing well. 5 goals in 3 seasons, is it true? Have I picked it up wrong? I'll show you again, Paul. Um doing well. Big shout out to Paul. You probably hear me throw Paul. I'm standing here, I'm fucking dying. On the right hand side here, folks. 13 games, 2 goals, 8 games, 54 goals. But look at this season for Sparta Prague 49 games, 24 goals. That's pretty impressive. For Yabalek, he scored when he went back on loan 24 goals, 9 games, or 24 games, 9 goals. I really believe we should have got that guy. Kovacevic, the guy that went to Ferencváros, to Robbie Keane's team. He probably would have done a better job. But look, we'll see what happens. Yeah. It's the truth, Bernard. 100%, Bernard. It's not attractive the way it used to be. It's not attractive. Where people will be like, right, I'll come to Celtic, we're going to play Champions League football. You're losing out on that, first of all. Second of all, it's the wage. Some people don't come because of the weather as well. And then the fourth thing is, you're going into a club where you don't know you're going to be even a part of the manager's plans next season because you don't know who's going to be in charge for next season. It's a bleeding mess. It's an absolute mess. It's a mess. Hate to say, but I think he is the best we can get. Well, we've inquired about so many players, as they say, over the last few weeks. Now we've looked at a couple of defenders as well. We're looking at a guy in the Bundesliga called Jamie Lawrence. I think he's 23 years of age, 6'7". He's done well in the Bundesliga. We're looking at him as well. He's a year left in his contract. We do need another centre back. I think we will listen to offers for Welch. I know we only have Dane Murray, Trusty, and Scales there because obviously Vickers is out. But it'd be interesting. So there's 40 people tuning in tonight. How are you feeling about this guy? Be honest. Be brutally honest. We haven't signed him just yet. He's agreed personal terms. It's a loan move until the end of the season with an option to buy. He's 25 years of age. He's 6'3". He's been capped for his country 8 times. In one season, the Czech League, he scored how many goals was it again? Let me see. 24 goals in nearly 50 games. But since he made the move to Germany, he's only scored 8 goals in Germany. How are we feeling? better with Jennifer Lawrence. At least she's surviving the Hunger Games. That's the main thing. I agree. Great pod, Keith. We're in the state. Yeah, we are in the state. We are in the state because it's just really, really bad. It really is. It's it's beyond desperation. And I don't want to keep saying the same stuff. He's all heard the same parrot talk all the time. You know, bored, mate, not word. They're hiding. Do you think there's more signs on the horizon? I think they'll get the striker in. They'll look at try getting another midfielder. They might listen to the offer for Arnie Ingles going back to Germany. Lucky Arnie Ingles hasn't really worked out at Celtic. If we can get even 10 million back off on him, we would be laughing. You know, I just don't know what system they're using this. What the scouting is it's just an absolute shambles. Remember when Celtic used to sign players from Division 1 in England? Now we don't bother doing that because players, they cost more money. Yeah, because some players in the Championship in England are on twice as much money than they would be. Or they're maybe on 50 grand than they would be near even having a chance of like using fucking 10 or 15 grand at Celtic standards salary. It is a desperate state of affairs. It really is. We were looking at that guy Newland from Shamrock Rovers. Scored a couple of times in Europe. According, he's meant to be going to Hoffenheim in Germany. They put a bid in of around 1 million. Martin is great, giving him the green light. I trust Martin, but maybe Martin's been thrown so many cards and he's back to a corner and Martin is not going to say anything bad about the board because he's obviously going to appreciate Dermot Desmond giving the job back 26 years ago. He's not going to come out and start calling the board out. It is. I feel sorry for Martin because he keeps getting asked the same questions all the time. Are you closer to getting a striker and you're closer regards to players in the door? It is a hard business. It is hard to sell to buy players in because, as I said, we all know the logistics of getting a footballer in. Is it going to be a loan deal? Is it going to be a permanent deal? How long's the contract going to be? What's the salary going to be? Are you going to guarantee him first team football? Is he going to play regularly? Would he suit your system? You have to get his visa sorted. You got to make sure he's not carrying an injury. That kind of stuff. We've seen it in football. We've seen it with John Hartson. John Hartson, how many times did he fail a medical? at clubs. Failed medical at Spurs, Rangers. Um, was a Charlton as well, and then he ended up going to Celtic. I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know. I really don't know, man. It's like I disagree, mate. I don't think he'll take shit. It's too long. The t- I honestly like. I just feel like he's in there to do a job, and he loves Celtic, but at the same time, Michael Nicholson and these boys at the top are not taking this serious. Like actions speak louder than words. Get a winger, get a defensive midfielder, get a centre back. The goalkeeper thing we can deal until the summer. We can deal with that in the summer. But it's just there was an emergency meeting called last night between Maloney, the new scout that we got from Chelsea, Martin O'Neill, Wilson, and Nicholson, and McCoy as well about potential targets. We are literally how many days? Is it 12 days left in the transfer window? We are 13 days left in the transfer window. Yeah, some people might say, "Oh, still a lot of time to get business done," but we've also wasted nearly 19 days in that window trying to get a striker. Till today, we look like we're getting one. If the board were serious and ambitious, we'd have the players in the first day. Now, it's not even getting the players in the first day. I don't think it's that easy to get a player in the first day. With the whole when we got the players from Japan, it's a different story because their season was off. Um, it's not that easy. Like the analytics is just a joke. I know there's been a couple of podcasts talking about the analytics, and look at Tony Bloom's Hearts analytics system. Like that way, Celtic are just like hire. You have money there. Hire a new scouting. Set up a new scouting system. Set up a new scouting system because clearly the scouting system. It's just like we were talking about getting Kyogo back a couple of weeks ago, folks. He didn't score. He didn't score. He hasn't still scored in the championship yet. You know that. Has not scored in the championship. He scored in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. That's how bad we're talking about getting like that's how desperate we are. It's lazy. Yeah, Cliftonville's winning. Fair play to Cliftonville. You know, I think we'll have another two in before the weekend. Well, if we get another two in before the weekend, I'll I'll put it down. I'll take it down a notch. I'll take it down a notch. I'll stop moaning. I'll stop moaning. But the Kawhi's ain't coming back. Chris Davis, former Celtic assistant, he's came out and said it. He's managing Birmingham. He's came out and said it that they have plans for Kyogo. So yeah. How's the sound tonight, folks? I'm using my earpods. How's the sound? How's the picture quality? Let me know. Got the house coat on. Wasn't planned to do a live. Um, the video is gonna be uploaded soon. It's basically the video of me talking about this guy, Tomas Cvancara. It was Nicholson that fucked up the Kyogo return by contacting him directly. Ah, well, I just think you just need a cuddle hunt, son. To be honest with you, the way I feel this season, I think just need a good whinge. And I know I'm not. Look, the ship is not sank just yet. We could survive this. We could go on and win this league, and it could be the Messiah Martin. We all want that, but everything everything needs to be put into this game on Sunday. And I really believe, I know Martin's not going to put a B team out. I would really consider making resting players on Thursday night over in Bologna. Fuck the Europa League. Who gives a shit? This is more important. This is more important. Winning in Tannadice on Sunday is more important than the Europa League. We're not going to win the Europa League. What's the point getting in for a little bit extra prize money? Who cares? We want to win the league. We need to win the league. We do not want to be finishing second or third. All good, Keats. Jamie Lawrence. Right, so let's have a look at this guy, Jamie Lawrence. I really think we're missing a great opportunity here with the guy from Zimbabwe that plays for Motherwell. He looks really good, like Jamie Lawrence. Sounds like it's something out of a movie, doesn't it? It's not related to Martin though. He's a is German with Nigerian parents. So 23 years of age. He is 6'7", folks. Right? He scored one goal so far in the Bundesliga. Centre back, by the way, if you're wondering. He's done well. Player rating's not bad. 17 starts, 17 games. 51 games. He got as a free transfer from Bayern Munich. He came through the Bayern Munich academy there, folks. So there's a guy with a bit of pedigree, right? I had a look at this guy up, right? And I kind of reminds me of Virgil van Dijk. Very composed in the ball. He's not fast. Like, he's not the most fastest pacey player, but good at reading the ball. That's what you want. You want a player that can read the ball, that's not afraid to get stuck in. You know, I would go in for this guy, Jamie Lawrence. Accordingly, he's 1 year left in his deal as well. We're not just the only club that wants him. There's meant to be two other clubs that are interested in him as well. So let's see what happens with that. We were linked with that guy, Jonas, the Danish forward. Very similar story to that guy Dolberg that we were looking at from Anderlecht. Jesus, there's the sirens going past. They're probably going to investigate that bank being robbed. The culprit is Michael Nicholson. He's notorious for robbing people blind. But of course we do, Keith. I think we'll pump Hearts on Sunday. Well, this is Tynecastle. Why do I keep saying Tannadice? Don't know. Tannadice is on my brain. Do you know why I said Tannadice? Because I was watching that podcast today. What's his name? Charlie Adam, Paul Hartley, and that guy McCoy, the Sky Sports one. Can't think of the name, but it's gone out of my head now. But the Scottish one anyway. Basically, did you see the picture of Cvancara on the plane? I did, Peter. I did indeed. I seen it on Instagram. But man, look at the stats. Like, the stats are, it's a big gamble. It's a big gamble. It's a big gamble. This is not him. This is obviously Lawrence. Hold on. Like two goals in 13 games in Turkey, and then you've got 54 games, 8 goals. But look at that's really impressive. As I said earlier on, that's quite impressive. And he finished second that season, Sparta Prague, when he was there. But no, that's all. I don't know. That's Sparta. I think that's actually this season. But he played against us as well. I just don't know. Like, yeah, he's a big, tall player that's good at holding up the ball. But the most important thing, folks. What I'm gonna say is, we need to get players that are actually going to give him that service, that are going to give him that cross. Saving them for Tynecastle. Keith, hope so. Thinking about Hearts are unbeaten in Tynecastle this season. Just to put that out there, folks. Could Celtic burst that bubble? We're all hoping. Hope he's like the picture as well. Big Court. Court having a cigarette. I think a lot of Celtic fans need cigarettes after. I'm just feeling very underwhelmed about it, folks. Like, I'm really hoping. I really am hoping that he comes in and he does hit the ground running and he helps us go on and win this title. But we got to beat Hearts twice. We got to beat Rangers twice, and we got to hope that we're unbeaten to the end of the season. Simple as. Falkirk beat Hearts in the Scottish Cup. Yeah, but not in the league. This is what I'm trying to say. They're unbeaten in the league. They're beaten in the league. And to be honest with you, I wish Hearts went through in that round, because if Hearts went through, they would have still had focus on the Scottish Cup like ourselves. But now, with them being out of the Scottish Cup, they're going to put full effort into that league. So that was a bad thing that happened. That as much as we all love to see Hearts beat Falkirk, or Falkirk beat Hearts, if Hearts weren't chasing this title, I would have been delighted with the Falkirk result. But because Hearts are top of the league, now they have no games to focus on. It's just the league. How's it going, Ryan? What's happening? I do that penny pinching stunt. Are we doing well? Hope everyone's enjoying the podcast. Yeah, but do you need to now? Like, if you get players from the Bundesliga, it shows that Celtic are looking around in decent leagues as well. Like, look, we got Arnie Ingles from the Bundesliga. We got Nicholas Kuhn was from the Austrian Bundesliga. Nicholas Kuhn's doing bad over in Italy, by the way, folks. He still hasn't scored yet, I don't think. Still has not scored. And we Celtic could be set for a windfall as well at 10%. It might not seem like a lot, but a 10% windfall if Marseille sign Matt O'Reilly. So 17 games Nicholas Kuhn has played for Como, not one goal. And he still hasn't had an assist yet. Jesus Christ. The grass ain't no greener on the other side all the time. I think we should sell Arnie Ingles, honestly. I just think it's not really working out for them. I want them to obviously succeed at Celtic, but it's just some games he's just not at it. So this is Nicholas Kuhn, right? 17 games, 0 goals. Jesus. It's bad as Kyogo. Really is. It's mad to think. Like this guy scored in the Allianz Arena for us last season. What's your opinion of Noonan at Rovers? I've only seen a few of his goals. Is it Michael Noonan? Let's have a look. 46, 46 games, 9 goals. It's not a lot, to be honest with you. Scored 6 goals in the League of Ireland last season in 30 games. No, I think it's a bit like I know he's only young and there's a bit of potential there, but 17 years of age. Let me look at the minutes though. Like, so what was he averaging per minutes? About 50 minutes per game. Don't know. I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest. Like, it's a bit of a strange one. Like, he's only 17. You could take a whack at him, but this is the problem when the Irish lads come over to Celtic. Some of them, thrive and some of them fail. And, when the ones that fail, you never hear the end of it. Like the Shane Duffys and stuff. And I feel like, Johnny Kenny, just don't think he has in the tank to be a Celtic player. As much as he done well. At 17, why not give an academy player a chance? See, the problem is you sign him at 17, right? You either bring him into the first team, give him a few games, get him adjusted, or what Celtic will do is they sign him and send him on loan, back on loan to Rovers, develop him, and then they'll take him back and give him a go again. So as far as I know, you have to be, with Prexy, you have to be 18 years of age to come over to the UK and sign professionally. That's what happened was Mason Melia that played for the St. Pat's. Melia was a player. We should have got Melia. He looked like a decent player. I mean, like my best mate's a St. Pat's fan. I remember going to see Pat's play. Mason Melia had an absolute stormer against Dundalk that night. Like, this is a guy that we should have been looking at. If Celtic, I don't think Celtic would go for Troy Parrott. Troy Parrott is an absolute baller, but it's probably out their price tag. But no, there should be players in that league. Like, this should be players that we should be looking at that league in the Scottish League as well. Even in the Championship in England, you're not going to get any players obviously off Coventry or Middlesbrough or Ipswich. The teams that are actually pushing for promotion, there's not a chance them players will ever leave. You're more so looking at the bottom half of the table. I know that sounds crazy for Celtic standards, but that's what it is. Hail, hail. Hope you're getting on. Just don't go off stats. I just don't go off stats. Sometimes you have to go off the stats. Now sometimes you might just say, just put the jersey on and go for it. Go by the injuries, goals to games, assists, how many games to play, how many minutes you've averaged. All that all comes in. All plays a part. All plays a part. Where the champions of Scotland, if you want to regain the league, you got to make big chances. And look what Rangers have done. Rangers have done better business than us. Hearts have done better business than us. Yes, Hearts off Shankland and Devlin this weekend. But McInnes will have them up for it. Tynecastle is a fortress right now in the league. No one has won there. We need with that. We scraped a win in Edinburgh against Hibs that day. This Hearts team are 5 times better than that Hibs team. You know, regardless that without Shankland, maybe I'll give him a game. I don't look at his stats. Just like all means, give him. He comes in, give him a chance, and hopefully he can make a difference. Look, some options are better than no options. I just find like that we should have been more serious about the transfers in this window. And I think there's plenty of time to get a centre back and defensive midfielder. We really should be putting our eyes on a defensive midfielder because the question that a lot of fans are saying to themselves, will Callum McGregor, go to Saudi Arabia in the summer? Or will he stay in Celtic to the rest of his career? Time will tell. Time will tell. He's not going to leave in this window anyway. I thought Koyogo subbed on for Birmingham. Keeper from City would be great. He's a good few mistakes in him as well. That keeper. Any truth in the evening times that Knack is coming to Celtic to coach? No, it's more so I heard he's meant to be going back to a team in Italy they played for. Is it Regina, is it? That's what I've been hearing. He'd probably come back to Celtic and do a couple of weeks as in like learning about the club and stuff like that. A lot of them do that when they do their coaching badges. Look at Michael Beale. He went out to Brazil to do a bit of coaching badges. Scoring the winner on Sunday would be magic. Time will tell. How are we feeling about Thursday, folks? It's 2 days away. How are we feeling about the Europa League match on Thursday? Let's forget about Sunday for the time being. I'm going to come on live on Thursday night after the game and before the game. So if anyone knows any decent Celtic bars in Bristol, please write in the comments because I'm gonna be down in Bristol on Sunday for the game, and I'm trying to think of a good bar to watch the game in. I don't want to be going into any fucking Irish bar and watching in there. I want to go to a proper bar that has a few Celtic fans. So Derry. If the board think this one is enough, and the fans are sadly mistaken, the fans are always getting thrown under the bus, man. They're always getting thrown under the bus. At the end of the day, it's very underwhelming this season. Disappointing. Sound like Tavernier. Disappointing, like. As I said, oh, come on. Sunday night when I get home from Wales and Bristol as well. I'll come on Sunday night about 9:30, 10 o'clock on Sunday night. Regardless what the result is, unless I get delayed. Regardless what the result is, I'll come on Sunday night and I will tell you is on Sunday night that we do have a chance of winning this league after beating them, or either we're done. The towel is thrown in. I'm throwing the towel in. Either one or the other. Because if we drop points, I'm still throwing the towel in. And I know that sounds very petty to the whole 54 years watching live tonight. But I'm sure a lot of you are feeling like that. I'm sure a lot of you are feeling like, fucking make or break, like. Make or break. Gotta trust what we have in the squad. Gotta trust that someone's. And I was saying the other day to me mate, because you know what, we're all crying out for a striker, but I guarantee it'll probably be a fucking midfielder that will score the winner for Celtic on Sunday. Please God, it is. There is a Bristol CSC. Like 2 came up for me. I'm just dying to know what is the best place to go to watch the game on Sunday in Bristol. So yeah. Remember we had Yakamakis that wore this jersey. Remember we had a striker called Koyogo that wore this jersey. We had players that could do a job in this jersey. Remember Maeda got sent off against Hibs in this jersey. Aaron Moy, remember he had this jersey. Remember big Aaron Moy, he done a job. You're only saying the most to the most as I think, and I am saying what the most. I'm not, as I said, I don't speak for fans. No Celtic podcast speaks for the fans. Just remember that we all are different opinions. We all operate different. Some are very constructive. Some are very just cutthroat like me. You know, I don't sit here and whip out every bit of data. I just whip out the simple things. Goals to games. Yeah or no. You know? See when you're putting accumulator off, looking at the form like, yeah, throw a punt on that, you know. I'm not too bothered about the Europa to be honest, even though I would still want us to win the league. That's the thing, like I would it sounds weird, but I'd kind of rather see Martin bench 4 or 5 players and rest players on Thursday and if we lose 1 or 2-0, who cares? Who cares? You still have a chance of beating Utrecht at Celtic Park. But we're literally playing against fire here. The board have been playing against fire since the summer, and then they continue to mess it up. They continue to keep standing in the dog shit. They continue to keep not listening to the fans. And I keep saying this. I don't care if you don't like them or not, but we need the Green Brigade back in the stadium. We need every fan to take their part and push this team. Push this team. You know, there's no point of screaming and moaning when a player does a missed straight pass. You get behind them. They're human beings. Think of all the work. Think of all the work they do behind the scenes to try to get that success. You know, we need to get behind these players. And it's just been hard. It's been hard watching it, like folks. I'm not gonna lie. But this is the joys of football. You can't win everything. You got to keep trying and trying until it's not until it's out of your hands. Till it's out of your hands. As I said, if we were to lose this title, the Hearts, it'd be a hard one to take. The Rangers would be even worse, to be honest, because like, come on, they look at the way they started their season. Russell Martin, like, they were 10th at one time in the table, like to lose, you know. Get Balikwisha gone. He's old. He's woeful. Balikwisha. Oh, I feel like I've been conned with Balikwisha, to be honest with you, because how many videos did I do talking about Michel Ange Balikwisha? Oh, lads, he looks like a top player. You know, this is a guy that's played on the 23 levels for Belgium. This guy is ripped up in the Europa League. He's done well scoring in the Champions League. He's got a big move from Liège to Antwerp. This is the type of player we should be going for. And then he comes in and he's an absolute flop. He doesn't want to be there. He just can't cut the sauce. Simple as. Can't cut the sauce. As a season ticket holder, Keith, I've heard there's been no willingness from the club to talk to the Green Brigade. I heard the Green Brigade tried to reach out to them 2 or 3 times and they just completely silenced them. It's just sad. You know? It's quite sad. And I've said this on the channel and I'll say this again, folks. The way the world's going with this whole digitalized ID, I know it's not gonna be brought in the UK. Down the line, there will not be such thing as football ultras. Regardless, glasses or face masks and covering up. Football ultras will be a thing of the past in the next 5 or 6 years. And it's a sad thing to say because they bring it. They bring it. They bring the atmosphere. The tifos. You know, I don't agree with the pyro. I think the pyro is a health and safety. I don't agree with the pyro because at the end of the day, someone could have breathing problems that are near them. You know, you got to think of people's health. People's health is more important than a display. You know, at the end of the day, that's it. They want fans. It's going to be all corporate. It'll be all corporate, and people will laugh. People will laugh at me, but I'm telling you now, football is going to go very corporate. Oh, by the way, the you were all giving me stick the other night about the chair. The chair's not squeaky anymore. Do you know why it was squeaky the other night? Because I have an L sofa and I was moving back and I was squeaking off it. You know? So that's the reason why. Um my pal who works in the villa with AI said they can because it's all- Sure, you can. There's all ways around. I'm not going to talk about it on this because it's YouTube and stuff like that. But Anthony Joseph, what a good lad. Give a shout out to Offside Podcast last night. They had Anthony Joseph on, and Anthony Joseph was saying that out straight, like Celtic have acquired about so many players, and that like literally we're only hearing about 4 or 5 that are getting into the media. That just shows that it's just a bit desperate. No, it's the chair's grand. The chair is fine. The chair is absolutely fine. It's just because the couch, it was hitting off the couch, it was making a squeaky noise. The chair is grand. Chair is absolute grand. But Anthony Joseph just announced that Cvancara is going through his medical for tomorrow morning and will sign on completion. Well, something's better than nothing. Even though I'll be moaning tonight, but something's better than nothing. You know? Once the guy puts the jersey on, see what he's all about. What's the news on this Czech player? How's it going, Tom Celtic? So it's going to be a loan option to buy. 25 years of age, 6'3", 54 games in Bundesliga for Borussia Mönchengladbach, 8 goals this season. He's at Alanyaspor. He's played 13 games, 2 goals. He's been capped for his country 8 times, and he had an impressive season for Slavia Prague in 22 to 23 season when he scored 24 goals in 49 games. That's what I know. That's all I know about him. He can play in the right wing as well in that position, but preferably he's an up front. He's a big man up front. So yeah, is it your own knees, mate? I need a bleeding Zimmer frame at this rate. Hope nothing comes up in the medical. Oh, we look like an absolute sheriff fannies if we don't get this guy over the line. We still should be going for the Motherwell guy from Zimbabwe. Put the cash in. Get the cash in. Pay the 4 million. Let's have a look at this guy. Let's have a look at this. You all know the Motherwell guy I'm talking about. The guy that plays preferably in the way. But Michael Newlands, for me, I don't know. I know Celtic were looking at him and stuff like that. Tawanda Maswarinse. I can never pronounce his name. I just call him Tawanda. Tawanda. Takes me ages to get used to the pronounce of these names. Cool boss. Monda Rangers. Thanks for the view, mate. Just makes me money over. Thanks. I appreciate it. You're making me more money than your club is worth. Back in 2012. I forgot he died. So let's have a look at this guy. Like, okay. That's just in the Premier. That's in the Premier League. So far, doesn't look impressive to fans, but he preferably plays in the right way. 61 games, 21 goals. Already this season in the league, he's already has a goal. He's got 4 goals, or 10 goals in the league. He's got 4 goals in the Premier Sport Cup, and he scored in the Scottish Cup as well the weekend against Ross County. And he played well in the AFCON as well. So yeah, I'm all in for this, lads. What do you all think? Still haven't played it, The Sefco, exactly. I said, I'll take the view. Take the view. You think we'll get them with a well, lads? Why not go for it? He's 6 months left in his deal. Go for it. But they do have an option to extend it, but if Rangers getting more fucking Hearts getting I think we're missing a bleeding gem there. Simple. Who would you rather? Him or Balikwisha? It's a no-brainer, It's a no-brainer. How much did we pay for Scott McDonald from Motherwell? Was it a free transfer? Scott McDonald. Let me have a look. I know that's a long time ago. A long, long time ago. Scott McDonald. I might try to get him on the pods. He's a good lad. I'm not gonna waffle and say, "Oh, I'll get on to him." I'll try. All I have to say is I'll try. Let's see. Scott McDonald. He's 42. Did he score the weekend for Celtic Legends over in Munich? I just want to see. It's doing me head in. Give them Welsh and 2 million. Now they're evaluating Welsh at like 500 grand for fuck's sake. Um, just give them Welsh and give them 3.5 million. Simple as. So you do. Don't know how much Scott McDonald we bought him from Motherwell. Well, yeah, what a player he was. What a nice guy. What a nice guy. So I think we're not finished in the striking department anyway. I think we'll try to get another striker after this lad's Cvancara. But he played against Celtic in 2021. Hamish has his number. I think he follows me on Instagram. I think McDonald Scott follows me on Instagram. I messaged him in the past. I don't know like a throwback video on him talking about his career and stuff at Celtic. He messaged me back saying pretty sums up what you were saying, yeah. I'll get in touch with him. You know. If I start doing these live podcasts in the morning, would you just watch them? That's what I want to know. Because I've seen other channels that post their videos at like 7 or 8 in the morning. A lot of people tune in and watch their videos. So what if I was to do a podcast maybe once a week in the mornings? Would you just watch it if you're on the way to work or whatever you're doing? Let me know. My missus said to me last night, what I should do is I should go around to every Celtic pub. So watch a match in a Celtic pub in Glasgow or whatever. Go to a random CSC and watch a match in a CSC pub and have a chat with some of the fans and get their perspectives on the game. Seems like something different. Coming out of the comfort zone. You know, when it gets brighter nights as well, I'm gonna start doing a couple of recorded videos up at Celtic Park as well. That's the plan. I might cycle off to Celtic Park from where I live. About a 40-minute cycle over the Clyde. It depends what time. Probably about 7 in the morning till about 7:45. You know, can you get up, Lloyd? I won't. You know, just I think 700k. That's not bad for Scotty Mack. Scotty Mack was a player for us. It was quite sad that the fans going to turn on him towards the end of his career, Celtic, and he left. Did he leave with Robson and McManus to Middlesbrough with Strachan? But I remember there was a picture of like people scribbling his name out his shirt and putting Keane and all. Like I don't know if it was the piss take, but that kind of stuff. Like people were booing. People wanted him out the door before Robbie Keane was even linked with us. Sad stuff. Like people forget that this guy scored vital goals for us. Vital goals in one of the best title seasons we've ever seen. Like people forget that kind of stuff. You know. Just want to say, I know I said this the other night. Just want to congratulations to Neil Lennon on beating Hibs against Dunfermline. See, we have Dundee at Celtic Park in the next round. That'll be a tough game. Stephen Presley will have his team completely up for that game. Dundee are good sides. They're a hard graft, but they really are. Can he get you live? No. But like I could do one live a week during the mornings just to see if there's news and stuff like that. You know. I can't do it when I'm in work. I work from 8:30 onwards, so I could do it at maybe 7 o'clock in the morning. So let me know. Let me know in the comments. So before I jump off, anyways, just to recap. Check forwards. Tomas Cvancara is on the way to Glasgow to do his medical, to finalise his loan move from Borussia Mönchengladbach to Celtic Football Club until the end of the season, when optioned the boy in the summer. His goals to games ratio has not been impressive over the last 3 years, folks. But if you go back over his career when he played for Slavia Prague, very impressive. Yeah, the Dundee games at home, yeah. Yeah. I was at the AC Milan game 7 months before that, the 0-0 game. 0-0 when we dropped. And then we got beaten unfortunately in extra time in the San Siro. Too early, mate. I usually have a hangover. A hangover during the week? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you were drinking in the school night. Wish I could. Right, folks, I'm going to jump off. I'm gonna try to get back on tomorrow night. I will be back on tomorrow night because I'll have free time. So I'll be back on tomorrow night. Hopefully we'll have a bit of news. Hopefully we'll have the confirmation that he signed. But it's 90% there anyway. Personally, terms have been agreed. He's on his way. All that kind of stuff. Love the pods. Would you like the pods? I want to know. This is not me trying to get an ego trip like, oh Jesus, I'm deadly because they're all complimenting me. I am the god in me. You have not co. I'm not feeling like that. Why do you like the pods? Why? Why? What makes me stand out different to everyone else? Because I don't give a shit. Because I call the board out. Because I don't sugarcoat stuff. Because I'm not PG. What is it? What is it? You know? Shout out to every Celtic pod. They do a great job. They do. They do a great job. Honestly, all of them are good. I know a lot of people have different opinions about different pods. At the end of the day, putting yourself in a camera, putting yourself out, trying to talk about football. It's a hard job, folks. It's a hard job. So get them every single pod. There's been like 50 pods since I set up my one. But look, fair dues to them all. You know, because I'm genuine. That's why I don't give a shit. If people don't like my opinion, go and ask me Swiss roll. Simple. I'm not gonna. If I don't agree with you, I don't agree with you. I just don't like the treatment they're getting online on Facebook when people trying to be funny. Oh, you don't have a clue. I'm like, mate, shut up. Who's asking you? Go back into your cave. One gobshite out of 80,000. Who are you? Like, it goes through my head, like, like, because you may wear this, you may support the same football club me. Doesn't mean you're more privileged than me, mate. Shut up. Get a grip. just, I just have it out for some folk, you know. It's like you're going for a fucking college exam with some Celtic fans. They want to test you to the borders. Would you know this player? Oh, you're wearing at this game. You're wearing at this. Oh, you don't have that jersey. I'm like, so what? So what? Who cares? If I don't have that jersey, it doesn't make me a lesser fan than you. Because I don't have a season ticket doesn't mean I'm a lesser fan than you. I'm for you to clobber all the time. You know? You know? That's good. Second only to Axon. Axon are great pods. I listen to them as much as I can. I listen to a lot of them. But look, I'll keep my opinions to myself. But I'll give every single podcast the respect as they deserve because they put themselves in front of the camera. A lot of them are very accurate. A lot of them, but I have my own thing. I'm not always accurate, but I got the passion. So I'm enjoying what I do. I'm getting a hoop suit. Really? Where are you getting that from? Shane? 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 Why not? Now let's face it, guys, the league's already gone. Excuse me, Roberts. Roberts, not just yet. When if we lose on Sunday, the league is gone. If we win on Sunday, the league's not gone. You know? Wearing a hoop suit. Imagine me sitting here with a hoop suit on. Yeah, I've got a nice house coat on. The cheekiest. Slayers. I've been to Slayers. I've got me kilt and Slayers. You know? Went to the wedding a good few years ago. I got a kilt in there for it. You know? Next time I wear a kilt is when I marry me woman. So yeah. Yeah. Don't know when that'll be. Hopefully not too long. I'll probably marry my missus before the Celtic board spend some money. You know? Yeah. There's an old fella that goes to the games wearing a hoop suit. Yeah, that's the guy from Belfast. That's the guy that has the little scooter. And then there's another guy that wears the Celtic kilts. Yeah. Some phenomenal fans we have. We've the best in the world, but also we've got the very finical fans as well. Something goes wrong. Something goes wrong. They're as bad as me. Throwing the toys out of the pram. Is there not three of them in the scooter crew? They're on that Al Jazeera documentary. You know? That's the fella with the scooter. Is it Dougie, is it? Is it wee Dougie? Is it Dougie? I think it's a Dougie. Could be wrong. A Paddy or something. Oh, his house is legal. All the Celtic stuff everywhere. Get the Green Brigade in hoop suits. Oh, that'd be comical, wouldn't it? The board would be raging. All of them in green suits with the face masks over. Just like you can sack the board. Oh, I'd love that. That would be a great show. That would be unreal. The boys should do as well, you know. I was gonna say Al Jazeera. Yeah, the Al Jazeera documentary's pretty good, you know. Um some really good stuff about Celtic on YouTube. Some really good stuff about Celtic. But I'm gonna leave it there, folks. Me nose is running like the Clydes. I'm gonna be back on tomorrow night. You know what? I'm gonna say 7 o'clock tomorrow night. If this flu gets worse over the next 24 hours, I won't be back on. But I got back on. I got on tonight, so we'll see. Kyogo, what was his performance? Did he score tonight? Wait, has he scored? Kyogo has scored for Birmingham. Jesus. He scored against Sheffield Wednesday away in Hillsborough. Kyogo has scored. He scored in the 92nd minute. I know a lot of people don't care. No, a lot of people don't care because he's not our player anymore. But the point is, I feel sorry for him. I know he ran his own bat and he fucked off to Rainbow. I just have a little bit of sympathy because he brings us good moments. That's all, you know. Yes, he threw his toys at the pram and he wanted to leave Celtic and go and play in a better league. And look what that's done for him. And plus, Celtic are playing, or not Celtic, Scotland. Scotland are playing Japan in a friendly in March. So you might see Days in my to score a Hampden again. Never know. That's if he gets picked. With the way his form's been, I wouldn't be touching him. Wouldn't be touching him with that Japanese squads. You know? The Garden. Who's he playing for now? Is he a Norwich? Is Kavista Garden at Norwich? Let me see. Norwich, yeah. Norwich are terrible, aren't they? 5-0. 89th minute. Poor Mikey Johnson's team's getting a whooping tonight at home against Norwich. What's this? A big Norwich getting the finger out. I think Clement is the manager of Norwich, isn't he? Freddie Clement. Voldemort. 3-0. I'm getting it. I'm getting obsessed with these suits. Get Days in a hoop suit. Right, folks, I'm gonna jump off. It was nice speaking to you all. So all I can ask is good numbers tonight. Please subscribe to the channel. Tell your mates in the job about me. You know, tell them that there's some mad Irish guy that goes on YouTube live and he talks some sense about Celtic. Just get the name out, folks. Because the channel ain't going up, ain't going down. It's like it's stuck. It's stuck. You know, appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the comments from every single one of you tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to my bed. I'm just effed. So I'll speak to you all soon. Hell, hell.